Good morning, our people.
Good morning.
Welcome to the program. Today is June the 17th of 2020. We are super happy to have you here with us. As usual, please help us to share, like, subscribe. We are excited. Things are happening in the background. We want to, once again, thank people that are doing the work, doing the footwork, making the effort that is needed. It's not about you opening your mouth. It's not about promoting what you don't know. It's not about, running your mouth because you have mouth to run. We are in a dire situation and we cannot afford to do what we were doing before. This is not an old boy, come here, old boy association. No, we have passed that stage. These people are every day coming out on national TV telling us what they're going to do and not do. So we cannot afford to play around with things. We cannot afford to speak on matters that we know nothing about. This is a time now for us to hunker down, like Texans would say. Hunker down, do your research. What you are saying, it doesn't make sense
Yeah.
because all the analysis, so we have to move. So welcome to the program. As usual, please help us to share and like and what is the other one? And all
Subscribe,
the
follow.
yes, yeah. The most important thing is that you share. Either
Yeah.
you share by sharing with the share button, or you are explaining it, narrating it to somebody else, summarizing it to somebody else. We really need to get together on this. God is on our side. Ezende more is on our side. He's waiting for us to wake up and do the needful, and then we'll move. Thank you. Welcome to the program. My name is Monachim Saga, and I am here in Houston, Texas.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mona. Thank you, our viewers. Yes, like my sister has said, God is with us in this journey. He is fully with us. We can assure you that He's with us in this journey. And
Yes.
there's no other outcome except the outcome that we want. So
Yes.
please help us share, like my sister has said, subscribe. Those on YouTube watching, thank you so much, and continue to subscribe. There's a bell in YouTube that will, if you click that bell, once we come on or once we drop a video, it will alert you. So thank you. Share. My name is Dr. AP Simon Okube, and I live in Lexington, Kentucky. Let me join to share too.
All right. Awesome. So we are sharing right now. Before we get started, we are definitely happy to have you guys here. So tomorrow is Father's Day here in USA. So to all the fathers, we are shouting out Happy Father's Day, especially the ones that are doing the needful, the ones that understand the need for freedom for their people. So it's not just your immediate family, the ones that are extending and stretching their resources to ensure that our people get this information that we need. Definitely special shout out to our husbands who is nudging us on and supporting us from the background. They are not out here, but they are supporting us from the background. So we thank you guys for everything that you do. Our children, our sons, they soon to be fathers. We honor you guys. We know that you guys will do great things. So continue to help us to share and like and subscribe. As you're getting the information, please help us to send it to others as well. We really need to make haste while the sun shines. So can they make noise, Neelanka? It's like one computer is on in the background. Turn this thing off. All right. Continue to help us to share and like. The good thing is that the information is getting out. Oh, it's the wrong thing that I'm sharing right now. Let's see. Mm. We're here. We're not sleeping. Welcome to the program. We're sharing just to make sure people get this information. Um, so, um, all right. So I think I'll continue to share during the video time so that we can get started. So we are super happy to have you guys here today. We are excited about the things that are happening in the background, and we cannot thank our brother Tony Nadi enough, and those working with Ninas in the background. They are not always out there, but they are up all night. They are in meetings. They are sending messages across. They are doing things that need to be done. And I keep reminding our people that this work is for us, this freedom that we're looking for, because that's why some random guy deceived all of you because you thought that somebody would do it. You know how we pack our luggages. We left our hometown when we arrived in diaspora, and life was good, immediately. That ain't gonna happen for you with this one. And you will have to do the work. So don't go and let the criminals take your money from you and lie to you about things they cannot provide. This thing, understand the project, and we move. It's waiting for you. So you running from pillar to post ain't gonna change it for you. This project is waiting for you. You going, joining a little bit and running off and doing the selection and then coming back and thinking this is waiting for you. So our topic today is Ninas in boxing ring with imposed APC government. And when we say impose, we are not missing words. It's imposed APC government. We know what went down. We know that he did not meet the mark to be the leader, but we are here watching them take over, and people are waiting to go and retrieve their mandate. With the 1999 Constitution in distress and the attempt to reinforce it by the election in disarray, Nigeria must now move into transitioning arrangement for an orderly union reconfiguration or the fourth union dissolution. This is according to Nina's um, uh, June 14th of 2020. We put out a message in the Guardian newspaper. I hope a lot of you got it and read it because people will say, I don't know anything about Ninas. I don't know anything about Ninas. When we put out information on Guardian, that is the national newspaper. It's the newspapers that, international partners will read and know what we are doing and what we are not doing. So you staying in the village, watching Manchester, watching CNN instead of watching what's happening in your neighborhood, it's on you because we have sent out the information. So divide and conquer has long been employed as a potent strategy by the colonial masters and their local caliphate agents. By purposefully deepening our ethnic and religious differences, they have effectively manipulated us, exploiting years of fabricated crisis and sowing seeds of artificial hatred. These tactics that they have used have served one purpose, or more than one purpose, which is to distract us, enslave, and perpetuate poverty among our diverse people. It is vital that we do not allow ourselves to be swayed by artificial call for unity, which the Nigerian Indigenous Alliance for Self-Determination has exposed as a deceptive ploy to exterminate indigenous peoples and seize their lands and resources indefinitely. So today we will discuss how the NINA's declaration of interregnum has unequivocally delegitimized the imposed APC government, rendering Tinubu's presumed presidency illegitimate. I don't know if I need to read that again. Additionally, we shall shed light on constitutional logjam resulting from the contested 2023 presidential election outcome. And finally, we will examine the viable possibility of peaceful union reconfiguration that favors the rights and aspirations of the indigenous ethnic nationalities. So, Ninas has a solution for you. What you need to do is to key in. For those of you that like to pray from morning to night, singing all kinds of songs. If you're fasting and prayer, you're watching a nature from a nature to a nature, from a nature to this one now about it. If you want to make a change, this is what you should be keying into. This Nina's proposition. And God is not bringing you any alternative until you do what you're supposed to do. So the earlier you stop singing and dancing around and pretending like all is well and join the moving train called Nina's, the sooner we will get to our destination. What you guys are doing is delaying our movement. So I am going to play the video of the day just for you guys to see what we have done this week. Again, we want to give a shout out to Ninas. We are doing the work. Thank you, brothers and sisters. Thank you so much. We know that prosperity will reward our hard work. We are not waiting for somebody else to do it for us to appear with our business plan to show that we are smart. We know how to run business. We are doing the work. We are doing the work. All right.
To what we call the Freedom Park Proclamation, in which we notify the global community that matters have come to where we are going to have to, save ourselves from death. And it was from there that we moved on to the constitutional force majeure of December 16, 2020. That constitutional force majeure is an ongoing thing until it gets to its destination. That is, it is designed to wind down and wind up the operation of the 1999 Constitution, to terminate the union of death that it had imposed on all sides, to also provide the framework for working out peacefully the replacements, which will be in two stages, in which people will be voting in the first stage in referendum to recommit to a union, because the collapse of that constitution is the end of the union anchored on it. Anybody who doesn't understand this should go and ask Awalu Yadudu, the quota professor, that raised alarm in middle of 2020 that that action of force majeure was going to compromise, that was going to unhinge the legal basis of the Federation of Nigeria. Awalu Yadudu that processed that constitution for the military, for the Absalom Abaka, who was, he used to be, what's it called, Abacha's chief legal advisor. Awalu Yadudu, to tell us when we say we have defeated the 1999 Constitution, Awalu Yadudu got wind of the constitutional force majeure before it was activated. He went to the media. Guardian newspaper reported, I'm sure if somebody researches, they will find it. Guardian newspaper reported that Professor Awalu Yadudu, the chief midwife of the 1999 Constitution, did raise alarm that if this constitutional force majeure thing is allowed to go, he was hoping that government could go and stop the people, the owners of the land, from exercising their sovereignty. He was saying that if that constitutional force majeure was allowed to go on, that it will unhinge the legal basis of the Federation of Nigeria. I'm reporting to you now as co-convener of that NINAS with a whole number of people. You saw their names in the advertorial we took when we put out the 128 statesmen cutting across the length and breadth of this alliance territory. I report to you today that that force majeure was rolled out. It has met all the objectives. The consultations that needed to be done had been done. All of the preparations that had to be done in one place or the other are in place. And the legal basis of the Federation of Nigeria stands unhinged. And that brings us to the point where we now begin to ask what will happen. We are not anarchists, and therefore, in that force majeure, we also made provision for the transition. We say, look, those in government house are not our problem at all. It is the constitution by which our lives are being ruined that we are quarreling with. That's what we've been working to dislodge. And we've come to the point where there's consensus to get rid of it. The few people that gather to swear to defend and uphold that constitution, waving one party flag or the other, are just...
How to kill all mosquitoes.
All right. So that's it on that video. I'm going to pull out the next. If we want to make an addition.
Yes, please continue to help us to share, like, and subscribe. The first video, you just saw that all the things that needed to be done. Somebody was asking, over the week, someone was like, all the thing that UN is not coming to help us to fix date for referendum. I said, that's not what UN is supposed to do. So we want our people to be informed. There are things to be done. These things have the process. Yes, I remember that criminal in those days, he said, yes, it has a process. For you to have referendum fixed, there is a process. There are things to be put in place, and UN has already said it. We told you to go and look at the UN Declaration for Indigenous Peoples' Rights, the document of 2007. Go there. It's about 46 articles, if you can read. You see the things there. So the processes have to be put in place. You don't get referendum by shouting referendum 20 times on the radio. That's not the process. You don't get referendum by saying, come and help us to give us referendum. That is not the process.
Neither do you sleep in Nigeria and wake up in referendum.
Exactly. So if you allow yourself to be duped, if you allow, especially those in diaspora, because we know those on the ground, our people on the ground, we have foot soldiers working and they're getting the accurate information. The only people being deceived are those in diaspora that have dollars and pounds to send to criminals. Continue to send. You will continue to be out there and they will continue to kill you and deal with you. The process is only NINAs. Only NINAs. Yes, there are up to 42, 45 groups making noise about freedom. Only NINAs is engaging in the stipulated process, the internationally acceptable standard for referendums and nationhood. It's only NINAs that is engaging in that process, and they are continuing. And that's what that first video was, to tell you what we have done when we did them. And these things are on the YouTube with evidence for you to watch the video to understand if you want to follow. So today's own that we're going to explain again is another milestone that NINAS has met as we move towards getting our people free and comfortable in their own lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister AP.
The question of ruthlessly preventing a change of power. Kill whoever you have to kill. Seize all their assets. Don't ever let them recover. Don't stop. That's what that means. You come down to the using the willing tools of the North, the minorities of the North as willing tools. Back to our map. Look at the people that did the killings on behalf of that caliphate. You see Gowon, you see Danduma, you see Jeremiah Husseini, you see David Mack, and the whole number of them. On that map, 80% of the killings that had to be done, they presided over it. And that's how they could come to the victory charter. At the close of proceedings in 1970, everybody had been beaten down. Oh yes, let's kill the Igbo and their neighbors. And so the victory charter from that war was what became constitution between 1975 and 1979. Now look at who processed that constitution for them. Yes, Murtala Mohammed commissioned it. Kano. But he died in February of 1976, and so his second in command, Olusegun Obasanjo, took charge and then executed what will become the permanence. The Ahmadu Bello meant that this situation in which the Fulani will prevail and own Nigeria must be permanent. So the constitution, the unitary constitution that was imposed as victory charter from that war of 67 to 70, the so-called Biafran War, is the mechanism by which the victory was made permanent. So their victory was codified, and it was a member of the slave South, a member of the conquered territory. Because if you are conquered, you are a slave. So Obasanjo essentially was the head slave who had to do for the master what the master wanted. And so Obasanjo presided over the processing of that victory charter into constitution that became 1979 constitution. And it was the same Obasanjo that caliphate found to bring out from prison in 1999 to reinforce and reinstate that 1979 constitution. That is where we are. It is that victory of having that Ahmadu Bello's vision transformed into reality, imposed. All our assets are gone. The oil and gas of Niger Delta is taken by that constitution. The ports of Lagos, the ports of Port Harcourt, taken by that constitution. The bitumen of Ondo, taken by that constitution. The limestone of Benue, for which Dangote has become richest, Africa's richest man, taken by that constitution. The right to build your infrastructure, railway, road, everything, taken by that constitution. All the institutions, all the armed forces today, controlled by those same set of people. And so, what El-Rufai, in case you did not understand, I want you to understand that El-Rufai is saying to all of us that that vision of Ahmadu Bello that has been, operationalized by way of the constitution that codifies their stranglehold, their victory over all of us, has now been completed. And the ethnic cleansing we see, the Fulani invasion that is going on, is happening within the context of that conquest that has now to be finalized by the elimination of the future claims. The ethnic cleansing, the killings happening in southern Kaduna, killings happening in Plateau, killings happening in Nasarawa. Benue is coming to Port Harcourt. It will sweep eastern Nigeria. It's not going to leave Yoruba out. If anybody is stupid enough to think that Yoruba will be treated differently, sorry for you. Go and ask about Afonja and what happened to Ilorin. They are not going to leave anybody. So El-Rufai is telling us in triumphant arrogance, he is now boasting that they have conquered and they are going to just take it. What can any of you do? The reason he's able to do that is that constitution that is the victory, the codification of their victory is still prevailing. The only reason that...
Sister, don't you love what these Fulani people are doing? That whenever they're going to do something, they will come and tell us. Even the ones that they do in hiding, God will show it to us in light. And we pretend to be doing all manner of stuff. We are having weddings and graduations and on parties and things are going on. You pretend like it's not your problem because maybe you have the dollar and pound to change so that you can go home. These people are planning to make it uncomfortable for you not to come back. So one of the questions we pray that you ask yourself is that, are you willing to give up your father's land? Are you willing to give up that space that your umbilical cord was buried in? Are you willing to do that? Because for years, we saw them doing things, right? It turned into, oh, you can't go by yourself. You have to come with security. Then it turned into, oh, you can't even come. You have to sneak in. Far away, then you take a car and come into your village. And then at night, you don't turn on generator. We keep...
And honestly, my sister, do you know, of recent, I come to believe that they don't even know when they expose themselves. I think God is the one pushing words out of their mouth. They have no choice but to speak. Because like this one now that happened with this body bag governor, this Governor El-Rufai, that said he was going to do something to people. Do you know, he didn't even know that he was going to be recorded. Because we are, thank God for the age of internet. It wasn't an official video. It was just somebody that felt like, this man, what you're saying, I think we need to record it so that others will hear what we're hearing here. So what are we saying? That for the longest time, they've been doing things and our people did not take note. You can see how Bratoni was saying it. For over 50 years now, the leadership has been on that 1967 alliance, North and the renegade of West, because we know that it's not all the Yorubas that are part of this partnership. It is the ones that want to sell Yoruba land and sell Yoruba people. You finish selling your land, after you start crying that they've taken your land and start looking for who took your land. Meanwhile, you're allowing your elders, so-called elders and politicians, to sell off your inheritance while you're dancing around and dancing on Wambi and doing party. We are alerting you now that this did not start now. For the longest time, this evil alliance, they have been leading you, and all they care about is to kill and destroy. Steal, kill, and destroy. Take your land. If you refuse to give them your land, they will kill you and still take the land. That's what is happening in Northeast. That's happening in Mali, Northwest, Uganda, Sudan, Somalia, everywhere. You will have the minority criminal group inside the place, working with another criminal group outside, and they team up to kill off the indigenous peoples and take their lands and resources. It's been going on.
The constitution is still prevailing is that all of you are going to election every 4 years, pretending to be doing a democracy on the basis of a constitution of master and servant that puts you as servant, that take your assets, that put all the guns in the hands of those who took your assets to order you around, those who control the electoral machinery, because that constitution has 68 items on the exclusive list. Everything on that list is controlled by Fulani. Whether it's arms and ammunition or elections, everything on that list, your economic assets, refinery, that's why Dangote is given monopoly. Having hijacked all of what belongs to all of us, they are now giving it out to themselves as concessions. And we're here clapping and cheering that we are growing our democracy, deepening our democracy. And so, what are we to do with all this information? We have a choice to make, to surrender to be slaughtered to the last, because they're coming, they're not going to stop. You saw, if you remember, before the election came, we had in a broadcast raised an alarm to alert our people that the election they're advertising is a decoy, something to deceive you into thinking you are going from. They have their plan A and plan B, and that the election is just plan C. In case their plan A fails and their plan B does not sail through, they fall back to plan C, that they will control the outcome, because they already have a mechanism to control the outcome. But they don't want to be doing democracy with you. They had their plan A is conquest by invasion. You saw the pace at which they were coming when Buhari first came. Buhari threw our borders open, and Fulani came from everywhere across the Sahel, across West Africa, pouring in with weapons, slaughtering people, overrunning whole communities, and changing the names as they went along. El-Rufai was a resident commander. You remember when Dr. Melafia, Obadiah Melafia, only them know how he eventually got killed. I will not be surprised if it is from within the circle of let's take them out. You saw the woman leader of Labour Party in Southern Kaduna and how she went. So the El-Rufai that is boasting now about that conquest that they have almost completed is only the God that wants to save all of the rest of Nigeria, that has forced him to open his mouth and boast about the existence and potency, mark my words, the existence and potency of the full and conquest agenda. That is what El-Rufai has confirmed. And we have traced it back to where their champion, Ahmadu Bello, instructed them on what to do. El-Rufai is reporting to us that they've done that thing, they have seized the place, and they are now eliminating the people who, the claimants, the people who are going to say it belonged to us yesterday. That's what the constitution already make your land their land. That preamble that says, we the people have solemnly resolved to live together forever as one indivisible. They put your name, they put your signature on a title deed that cede your land to them permanently. That's what that constitution is, a title deed. All of the professors and senior advocates from the South, you saw them in Abuja in their numbers. All the senior advocates in Nigeria are now throwing themselves over one another in courtroom in Abuja. But they were never interested in the constitution that that make them slaves, and they're interested in the billions they are going to share. That's all they're interested in. Where have they been in this discussion of constitution that make us slaves in our land? So straight from election tribunal, the next place we are going to see them is EFCC grab the governors that just came out, and then billions are alleged to have been stolen. The lawyers step in. Those same lawyers you see in courtroom in Abuja. Find out any one of them who has ever said anything about the constitution that is the fraud we are living in. And if you can't find their names there, and you go down, you see that every election cycle they turn up to settle there, because what do they do in those courtrooms? It is money that is carried around. They are paid money. Part of that money ends up with the judges. That's what they've been doing. And they do the same with EFCC matters. All of the corruption, how many people are in prison today? That's what those lawyers are doing. And the blood of those who are being killed will be first on their heads. The next set of people we have to call out are the church leaders. Those people who mounted their podiums to preach PVC at the time the enemy was piling off AK-47 and tons of dollars and naira to be used to prevail on the day of reinforcing the life of that constitution, that the day of election. It is to reinforce the life of that, to renew the life of that constitution that they dragged us to election for. If you doubt me, go to YouTube and search 2023 election strategic decoy of the caliphate for the conquest agenda. We lay all these things bare before you. It is your choice. It's up to you. It's up to you to make up your mind whether you want to live or you want to die. Anybody who is on the side of that constitution, doing PDP, APC, Labour Party, swearing to defend and uphold your enslavement, is the enemy in the circumstance. And if after what El-Rufai has opened up to, what El-Rufai has confirmed, you do not stand up to join in saying that that constitution that is the instrument of that oppression, instrument sustaining that they are prevailing, if you do not join in the effort to take it down, then you are certainly on the side of the enemy in this fight. If you are from the south and in the middle belt, and you are not already being seen, you are not already loudly in public place rejecting that constitution as basis of union, you are a part of the problem. You are working for the enemy. You are sustaining the enslavement of the rest of the people. If you are a lawyer, your case is worse. If you're a clergyman, if you ever mounted the podium to preach PVC, in which the enemy was luring you to come to renew the life of constitution that they imposed on you to prevail permanently, we challenge you today to go back to that podium and tell the people, the flock you let into this damnation they are in now. They are dying of poverty right now. They are being slaughtered right now in Benue, in Southern Kaduna, in Nasarawa, in Plateau. You are the one that led them to where they are now. They are going to be killed some more. That's what El-Rufai is telling you will happen. You must go back to the podium now. El Buba, Enenche, Adeboye, all of those who ask people, the Catholic bishops, all of those who ask people to go and get PVC, you must go back to BMA in Port Harcourt. All of you who asked your flock to go and get plastic PVC issued by the enemy in a battle of AK-47, you must go back to the podium today and tell them that election is not the solution to the problem, that constitution is the problem. If you keep silent, then you are standing with darkness, you are standing with the enemy, because that constitution will survive because you kept quiet. It will not be counted as any kind of wisdom. It is because you want to stay where you.
All right, we're going to stop this video here. Just like our brother is saying, if you are not part of what we are doing, then you're part of the problem. If you want a solution, the solution is already on the table. We've reminded you guys over and over again that your Christmas present, the one that you've been believing God for, the one that you've been fasting for, the one that you guys been pretending like you know God, has been delivered to you. That all you have to do is to open up the door and grab your present. And the present is called NAS. So hate Tony, hate the Daughters of Truth, Umwayana Abaza every Saturday on the show, hate whatever. The point of the matter is that this is our way out of the damnation that is created by the colonial terrorists. There's no other way to describe it. This is it. The same way you guys galvanized, went to the podium, went to the pulpit, went everywhere and be doing obedience. Now you should use the same energy and go and say, hey, we cannot move forward without this constitution review or constitutional takedown, really, that NAS is proposing. If you are a man of God, you claim that you're a man of God, you love the children of God, that you want to help them to get freedom and get freedom abundantly, the time is here. For those of you in diaspora that is still confused with all your educations, with all of them, you still can't read in here, you still don't know what is being said. You think it's all about running your mouth when you're drinking in a boys association club and you're running your mouth. Our children are in dire danger. Our children are in dire danger. As you guys are here playing this game, thinking it's all about with this and that, we are having party, this and the children, the boys no line, the young children no line are being exterminated. My sister, go ahead. I don't even want to bust out crying. Let me pull up my screen.
Yeah, my dear, we can't even be crying because the work is going on. The beauty of this work is that we don't need 200 million people to do this job. If you listen and you hear, you move. And you can do this work from anywhere you are located. You do not need to relocate to anywhere to get it done. Where you are, thank God for internet. You can begin to be part of this assignment. It is an assignment. It's either you are called or you're not called. If you're not called, maybe you will be part of the casualties, because we know that there might be casualties. It's not easy to take how many amount of dollars that we are talking, to take it out of the mouth of these criminals. We know that they might want to fight back. However, we are ready, because that's what we say the topic is in the boxing ring. We have got them in the boxing ring. This fight is a different type of fight. Aruche, this one is brain. For our people that are running up and down, carrying machete and broken bottle inside forest. This is 21st century. You don't need that for this type of fight. NAS is doing the right type of fight. Get them in the boxing ring. They will, that's a way you drive here, and they'll tell you no outlets. So, because when you see an enemy that likes darkness, you carry lights. As you're chasing them with light, they will be until they put themselves in a cul-de-sac, in no outlets. Is there no exits? So that's the type of fight we are doing. That's the type of boxing. Your enemy, keep boxing them, boxing them, boxing them, boxing them. If you are watching the boxing match,
please continue to help us to share and like, share this program. Please share. Our topic today, my sister is coming by. Our topic today is NAS in the boxing ring with imposed APC government. Please let me know if you cannot hear. I'm in the slideshow, so I'm not able to see what's in the background. As usual, we cannot continue this show without reminding you about the dark connection of the 1999 Constitution. And as we are saying this, for the past 7 months now, we've been reiterating this information to you guys because some people are not getting it. So we thank Professor Erufai, or whatever he called himself, the man himself, for coming to confirm what we are saying. So when we're saying these things, all these things, we really thank our ancestors that meet up with us every week and tell us, hey, this is how you're going to hammer this. This is how you're going to discuss this. That reminded us that the new nation called Nigeria should be the state of their grandfather.
The PowerPoint is not out yet, so it's not out. So that was why I was talking, waiting for you to pull it up.
What? Okay. you see what I told you?
Yeah. So it came and then went off.
Then what happened?
I want people to, our viewers, want you to follow the PowerPoint so that we're going,
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So just is it up now?
It's up now. Yeah.
Okay. Just remind me whenever. So and he came to confirm what their plan is for us, that they will use the minorities of the North as willing tools and the South as a conquered territory, and never allow them to rule over us or over them, and never allow them to have control over their future. What a demonic assertion, that we are going to do what we need to do to counter it, because this is awful. This is the worst thing that can happen. And this is not unique to us alone. This so-called elite, the people that make up this matrix, they've been going around and doing the unthinkable. It's just that they left some people in different kind of state, mindset, consciousness, that we are never together. We are busy fighting each other. And they are the ones remote controlling everything. So if you are not alive to your responsibility, like the man Osman Danfodio will say, then they will take you for a ride. So today we're going to look at the globalists and their swarm intelligence. There's a guy, Dr. Shiva, highly intelligent PhD from MIT here in the USA. This man was able to put together exactly how this matrix works, how they use this to control this. So we're going to sort of highlight some of those things for you guys today. We are going to look at how Western and Islamic globalism are two sides of the same coin. And then we are going to compare Nigeria and Mali jihad crisis. There's a video that we put out this week, thanks to, I don't know if it was DW that did almost a parallel thing that is happening in Nigeria, that is happening in Mali, how they have, you have to watch the video. You will see that it mirrors exactly what's going on in Nigeria as we speak. And then we're going to talk about the NAS interregnum, tax for the indigenous peoples, Nina's 5-point agenda, of course, and the announcement. And we cannot end without the spotlight on the wisdom of our ancestors. And today we are going to talk about what debt meant to them. So it's quite interesting. If not for anything, please learn about your ancestors. Your ancestors are not wicked. They are not witch. They are not holding you down. They didn't stop you from progressing. They are not. The only people that stop you from progressing are called internal and external colonizers, that is run by the globalists. Those are the ones stopping you, not your ancestors. So like we said before, we're going to look at the globalists and the swarm intelligence by Dr. Shiva. He says that no one is particularly in control. They are puppets of bigger forces. So as we are out there thinking that, we are in control of our life, in control of, no, these people with remote control, hiding somewhere. It's like they decide if they're going to bring you up, and then they decide if they're going to do you this. So you thinking to yourself that you have some type of control. They set up a 2-tier society, which is called the haves and the have-nots, which is, again, the elites and the common man. These people are closely knit together and interconnected. We see it in Nigeria. Babangida will destroy people, destroy half of the population back home, and then our politicians will go to their children's wedding with their jets, and they will meet each other in London to watch Manchester. They are all together, marrying each other, eating in the same restaurant, they shop together, they hang around together, they have plazas in the same place, they vacation together. Even their children attend the same schools, and they marry themselves. We know that these people are the owners of the huge NGOs. That's why when I walk, they will tell you that they brought 50 billion, trillion to the northern part of Nigeria. And every time you get a ban, diseases are still prevalent, children are still dying, everything is still happening wrong. But they have claimed that they've given us billions of dollars because they give it to you at the front end and they go to the back end and take it. We know that these globalists are the CEOs of big companies. They are the board members of investment, pharmaceutical, agricultural. They own everything. So that's why when you see them at the front end, they will be promoting obesity. At the other end, their pharmaceutical agents are sitting on the other end, waiting to give you medication for obesity. So the whole thing is a facade. We know that they own the entertainment world. Please continue to help us to share. So continue to help us to share and like, because you know they don't like to hear these things. They will block and block and block, because once you come, they own the social media, they own this thing that we're talking to you on. So they will do anything that they can to block it. That's why some people will just do a 1-minute video so that by the time they get to them, they have spit out what they wanted to say, because they're all in the same thing together. We know that the world celebrities and the own medias and social media, they are the government think tanks, right? That's why you're looking at them. Their policies are not making sense, but they're implementing it. They're telling people that you're not who you think you are, that you're supposed to be the other person. When this is someone that is having identity crisis that need an evaluation, yet we're encouraging the person to mutilate themselves. They are prime ministers, they are senators, they are special advisors. They own and run mega churches. And when you try to challenge them, if you're a pastor and you're saying, oh, molestation of children is not a good thing, you will disappear. They will move you. But if you are the child molester and they caught you in Germany molesting children, guess what they will do? They will transport you to boys' dormitory school in Cameroon, where you will have access to all the boys you want. Omakabera school, you will destroy them all by yourself. They manipulate the people through policies and propaganda. Their only target is to make money and keep the people poor and powerless. So while we're busy fighting ourselves, while we're busy promoting their churches, you will hear people, they will say, oh, pastor molested my child. Church members will fight the person. They will make the person look bad. They will literally run the person out. And the so-called man of God will continue in his iniquity. Their only concern is that they don't want to lose their trillions and billions, and they move together as a unit towards their goal. So it's us, the Haji. As globalists, we know that they set goals for themselves. And then for their goals, they're only worried about power, profit, and control. And then they have the ones that they set for us, which is being fat, unhealthy, dumb and ignorant. You will see people here, they will ask them, who is the governor of Texas? They don't know, but they live in Texas. Who is the president of the United States? They will say Obama. They won't even mention the right race. If you're lucky, they will say Trump. That's the kind of people that we have around here. They are happy and entertained. When you bring them on to teach them things that make sense, only one person will be watching. But if you're busy dancing and changing your face and inflating your butt and inflating your breasts, 1 million people will watch. It's all a part of the agenda. It's all part of the matrix. We are divided and isolated. You're telling them that we want you to identify as an Igbo man, not even as a Christian, because that one day they Haji Agwoba Butrani. Not even Oba is saying, no, I don't want to mess up. They use latrine. They cooking in latrine and brought to us. So when we are saying that you should be gladly Igbo and proudly Igbo, you're here saying you're gladly a Christian, that we know how that came about and what they've been doing with it. So instead of saying, oh, I'm proudly this, you're saying, oh, I'm Islam and she's Christian. And you're not identifying as your own person. The people that you came from, you're not identifying as your own people. We are disconnected, we are helpless. They want us to be disorganized. They want us also to think that they will solve our problems. We can only look for them for help. Help can only come from them. That's why people will be a governor in a state. They will own people's salary. As soon as they stop being governor, they will go to Abuja and build a mall in Abuja. Own a lot of people's salaries. As soon as he comes out, because he has some type of money, our people will think, oh yeah, he's a businessman, he will come and help us. But he took your money to help himself first. And you can't even connect the dots. And then when we look at the global part of it, they want to increase diseases and decrease life expectancy. They are causing a lot of endocrine dysfunction. Men thinking they are women, cutting off their private parts. Lots of men with low testosterone and questioning who they are, who God made them to be. And they're okay with that. They will promote it. Question yourself, guys. Cut off your private part. Do whatever you need. Do you. Do you is okay. Think about if we have children that are doing what they're supposed to do. When we know that it's you, the mother and the father, that will guide the children to the right way so that they can be a productive, good citizen. They want you to say, do you only by yourself, whether the outcome is good or bad. They want to increase anxiety and obesity. Are we talking about dysfunction at both family and individual levels? Fathers are not at home. When they are there, they are docile. They are not protectors that they used to be. They are not providers like they used to be. They have rendered men to the kitchen, not even kitchen, to the backyard. And we have lots of mental illness, all manner of cancer. We have sick care in place of health care. They want you to remain sick because it's all about them. That's why people are hungry and somebody will buy a boat or a ship or boat or whatever for $100 million. And they're coming from places that people can't even eat one meal a day. They want to normalize dysfunction and make us think it's okay. It's okay for everything to be dysfunctional. Everybody is in the background talking, getting their here, but nobody wants to come out and say it. We are watching these globalists slowly changing the fabrics of our lives, and we're there watching. We see them talk about things that the Bible, the so-called Bible that we're promoting, did not ordain. We see them preaching things that is against the word of God as if it's normal. We're in a month where they're promoting what they want to promote, and they want us to accept it and think it's normal. And the funny thing is that none of their children are part of this. So, it's you, the hungry person, the poor, that is playing these games with them. We'll move on to the next one.
And to imagine that the percentage of the people doing this, these so-called globalists, those so-called people holding others down, are just like 10,000%, like Dr. Shiva said, holding about 8 billion people down just because we are not looking. The more you look, the less you see. But we are here in this show to help you open your eyes and your mind. So the more you look, the more you see. Help us to share, help us to like, hit the like button to counteract the algorithm they're using to block this information. Share to your people. So we want to get to tell you, show you that the so-called westernization, because we told you that westernization is not civilization. The Western globalist and Islamic globalist are the same. It's just two sides of the same coin. Western globalism, Islamic globalism. We will compare and show you how they are the same so that you don't get carried away. You understand, so that you understand where we're going. They use 3 major tools: military terror, ignorance, and fear. For the ignorance, they infiltrated the religious bodies. Yes, the religious institutions, because they know that people are religious. People love their God. So they infiltrated the religious institutions, took them over, on even Bible and Quran, everything, just to get the people very ignorant. And then they will use this message of fear. You go to HLEU. I don't want to call it so that they don't block us. That's why I see us trying to change the characters inside. Because they're the owner of the media. They are the owner of social media. They are the owner of everything, everywhere. They put fear in the people. The type of religion they will bring in Africa is one that will make you afraid. Oh, if you do this, you die. You go to wherever. And they don't want to go there. They are here building mansions. They tell you, no, don't worry. Wait until you payment. When you payment, that's when you go to your own mansion and go to heaven and receive your own kingdom and receive the good things that God promised you. But on this earth, you will receive suffering. We will compare it to you so that you understand. Western and Islamic globalism, two sides of the same coin. If you know, you know. If you don't know, please try and learn so that you will know. Let's compare what they did. The Western globalists are called the colonialists. They are part of slave trade. They pretend to be Christians and missionaries. Meanwhile, they are fake. They use that pretense to infiltrate the church. You see, Igbo land, for instance, was conquered with this fake Christianity, fake spirituality. Our people knew God before they came. Last week, we told you that Christianity was in Africa before these colonialists came. They saw people were embracing Christianity rather than let people alone. No, because they want to steal, kill, and destroy, like Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach, warned us in the Bible. He said the enemy is coming to steal, kill, and destroy you. Shine your eyes. They saw people were embracing the gospel. They came in, twisted it, infiltrated it, got themselves inside the system, twisted it around, and used it to conquer the people and to steal their resources. If you go to Anibo, you see the churches there, but you see poverty also there.
Everywhere. Churches are associated with poverty.
Poverty, backwardness. The only thing that you see there is the little effort the people are making, because the people are hardworking people. But they are praising morning mass, afternoon mass, night mass, even saying mass for the dead. They pay so that they'll say mass for the dead. Inside markets, when they open shop, they are there saying mass where customers are coming. Then the Pentecostal Penterastals, when they saw what Rome and England did with Christianity, they too copied and brought their own kingdom to get our people down. Are we saying that Bible is evil? No, that's not what we're saying. Are we saying that Christianity, the gospel, is evil? That's not what we're saying. We are saying that they infiltrated it. The Western globalists infiltrated Christianity and used it to tie our people down. They use Christian barbarism, genocide, terrorism. All they use against our people. They use the establishment of false democracy to match their conquest agenda.
Yep.
They say we are bringing democracy, but it's not democracy. Our people had democracy. Ndi Igbo had democracy before the colonial masters came. But they use it, marks it, because of their hidden agenda. Let's compare them with the Islamic globalists. The Islamic globalists are called jihadists. They are also part of slave trade. They partner with these Western globalists. They are together. They pretend to be Muslims. They use their fake Islam to infiltrate your land and infiltrate these Islamic institutions. I'll give you an example. There was Islam in Hausa land before the Fulanis arrived. Yes, there was Islam. The Hausas were Muslims, even some part of Yoruba people. We are practicing Islam before the Fulani terrorists arrived. And what did they do? They conquered the people, promising them that they were going to give them a better Islam. They used Islamic barbarism, genocide, and terrorism, the same thing, compared to two of them. They used the establishment of Sharia law to max their conquest agenda. That's how they have Sharia law in 12 contiguous states in the northern part of Nigeria. They told the people that it will make them improve their moral value, that their leaders are corrupt, and they told you will make it to be better. Meanwhile, they are not part of it. They will cut off. When poor people steal one kobo, they will cut off their arms. But when their politicians steal billions and billions, nobody is attacking them. My people, look at this whole thing so that you understand what is going on. Let's compare Nigeria and Mali, the jihad going on in these two places. Also Burkina Faso, Niger, the entire Sahel region. Open your eyes, follow the news, the ones that they can say you can make these connections. We want to tell you that, okay, in Nigeria, we have over 350 ethnic nations. Our former colonial masters were Britain. 1960, they gave us fake independence. And we speak English, which is the colonial masters' language. Mali, on the other hand, they have over 20 ethnic groups. Their former colonial master is French. 1960, they gave them fake independence also. And their language is what? French, the colonial master's language. We are comparing. You already know what is happening in Nigeria. We'll tell you what is happening in Mali so that you'll be comparing them. The story of Mali is a story of state failure and collapse. The colonial masters we are watching, pretending that there is democracy in Mali, while people are being destroyed. After the fall of Libya and after the civil war in Algeria, terrorists, Fulani jihadists, moved into Mali from the northern part of it, seized the territories in the north. Is it not sounding familiar?
Mm-hmm.
In Nigeria, coming in from the north, seizing the entire north. Till today, they are massacring and killing our people in up north. That's the same thing that happened in Mali. Northern Mali was conquered. Kidnapping, massacre, displacing the indigenous ethnic nations from their lands and renaming their lands. Is this not sounding familiar like what is happening in Middle Belt? Happening in Plateau, Southern Kaduna? Is the same process. Is the same process. These colonial masters, these Western globalists, working hand in hand with Islamic globalists, they are together in this project. So open your eyes. Open your eyes. When somebody is telling you, I'm a Christian, I'm a Muslim, find out who they're working for. Find out whether they are true Christians and whether they are true Muslims, because they'll tell you Islam is a religion of peace. That's not our business. Our business is that these two institutions are being used to colonize our people and to kill our people and to destroy our people. Okay, I use the word YouTube on Facebook. Sorry, I use the word they say I should not use. I don't know how to be. Okay, yeah, to buy our people. Sometimes when you're saying these things, you don't even remember. And imagine operating in this type of tight place. Meanwhile, they are the ones doing the bio. If you not use the word, they block you. Now, why are you using it? What is going on? Also in Mali, they have coup, toppling of governments, just like what you have in Nigeria. They have multiple political party. Election, rigging of election. Please help me put to the next slide. Rigging of election. Religion became the refuge for the people. They radicalized the Islamic youths. All this is Mali. We are telling you. We told you that we'll give you briefing on what is happening in Mali. Hard drugs, cocaine trafficking, establishment of Sharia law, and Islamic barbarism.
Imagine that in the midst of hard drugs and cocaine using it. You will be killing everybody.
What a mix. Is this not sounding like what you're hearing from northern Nigeria? Infrastructure decay, man-made poverty, joblessness, low wages, failed UN peacekeeping mission. Of course, it will always
fake UN peacekeeping mission.
Fake UN peacekeeping mission, just like in Afghanistan. Nigeria and American peacekeeping mission failed after 20 years because it's fake. It was never meant to work.
Nope.
It was supposed to be a facade. It was supposed to be like, let it be as if we are doing something. Why they allowed the terrorists to gain the ground and kill the people? Because they wanted the people dead anyway.
And left them billions of dollars in equipment after to continue the terrorism.
Yes. So fake, failed UN peace mission. It's not peace they are keeping. They are there to just be as if they're, like scarecrow, like be there, like, oh, let me be. 11,000 military. Of course, failed French military mission. It will always fail. Just like security is failing in Nigeria. Yes, they will buy all the ammunition, go to northern part of Nigeria. They will never catch one terrorist. And the people will be dying. When the people call them, they are coming for us tomorrow. They told us they are coming for us tomorrow. They will face left. When the people have finished doing what they want to do, they will appear and say, wait them. We know these things. Stop fooling our people. Stop fooling us. We know the truth. Security response and political remedies can never be the solution when you have a systemic and fundamental problem. For those that are running up and down looking for good leader in Nigeria, The problem is not good leadership. The problem is that the system is killed to kill the people, to destroy, to buy the people, and make sure they don't have a future in their life. They don't have their future in their hands, and they don't have their future. They are not able to monitor their future. That's what the problem is. They imposed the 1999 Constitution, imposed the system, so that the people will never be author of their destiny. It is intentional. It is man-made. What is happening in Nigeria is not failure of leadership. Tell people, Obi, share this video to them. It's not failure of leadership. It's partnership between Western and Islamic globalists. People that are coming to steal, kill, and destroy. In Mali, the elites in Bamako. Bamako is the capital of Mali. They ignored what was going on. They thought it will never reach them. Just like the elites at Abuja and Lagos. You think you're safe. You think it will never reach you. You leave your villages and run to Abuja and stay there. You politicians, go to Lagos, build mansions and stay there. It will never come to us. Don't worry. It's turn by turn. It's coming. Let them finish killing, destroying the people in your villages. They will find you inside that city where you think yourself. The people in Mali thought the same way. Bamako is the capital. They thought they were in their comfort zone. We are giving reference to the African politics documentary. Java discovered that the ones that put this thing together. They said that why Mali failed was because they lacked coordinated, coherent strategy. The type they had in South Africa with CODESA and the type we have right now with NAS. And we are telling our people there is a coordinated, coherent strategy on the table. It's just for us to use it. We don't need to go the way of Mali. We don't need to go the way of Sudan. We don't need to go the way of Somalia and all the places evil going on. We do not need to. We can fix this thing today. My sister tried to pull up something here. He said the greatest robbery in Nigeria took place 1999. You see the one that the Bible says comes to steal, kill, and destroy. It says, my name is 1999 Constitution, and I stole your freedom. The 1999 Constitution stole the freedom of our people. And you cannot restore it by bringing one leader or the other. You just have to take out the 1999 Constitution out of the way so that the people can decide how they want to live, can decide how they want to coexist, because we are aware that we are diverse. We have over 350 diverse nations in that territory. However, no one ethnic nation is superior to the other one. We are all equal, irrespective of our languages, irrespective of our color, the food we eat, whatever. We are equal and we are born equal. None should be supreme over the other. And as a result, we have to sit down and renegotiate this thing they will say we are building. Nina's interregnum. We have to break it down because this English is not our language. So I don't know how to pronounce it. This is the first time I'm hearing this word. I told people I'm in university with my professor is Brother Tony. Yes, so when I saw it, I said inter what? Hey, we have to break it down. So it's interregnum. You see, we are learning. So please, Nina's interregnum. What does it mean? What is it? Where is it? We need in this thing that we are doing, this self-determination project. How does it fit in? We told you, don't go for 1999 presidential election because there will not be any meaningful outcome. So far, you're doing it under 1999 Constitution, which is the enemy's document. Enemy's document for enslavement. They will not allow you to have the type of outcome that you should have. But they pulled you along. The church people pulled you along, because I will blame the church for what happened to the people. They pulled you along As a result, they got themselves into a logjam because we told you 2 criminals, they are there like when you stab yourself on your foot. So they got themselves into a logjam because they are criminals and they don't want to do things. They lack the ability to do anything right. So far, you are swearing to uphold 1999 Constitution. You lack the ability to do anything right. We don't care who you are, whether you're Tinubu, you're Jagabano, you're Peter Obio, you're whatever you are, Soludo. So far, you're swearing to uphold a criminal document that the people did not make, made by criminal enterprise. You're swearing to uphold it and keep it. You will never do anything right, and you lack the ability to be honest and to do anything right. So the 2023 presidential election is inconclusive as we speak. No matter how they lie to you, no matter what they're doing, it is inconclusive, and we don't even know when it will end. We don't even know when it will finish. We told you not to go. We say close shop, don't go there. There's no road there. No, you want to go. You put your head inside. Pack them like a trap. Rat that you know that trap they use for rats in those days. Pack them. Your head is inside. You don't tight your head in there. That's what has happened to you. What is in place right now is unconstitutional president. Because you cannot be shifting goalpost. It's okay. I play ball. Then somebody's about to score. You carry the goalpost, move it to this side, move it to this side, move it to this side, and say it's right. You say that's the right thing. No, it's unconstitutional. Nobody does that. What you have is what you call stopgap government. That means caliphate is using Tinubu to hold the space. Why they are continuing? Because as they were playing all the game, they got themselves into no outlets. So they had to put somebody to hold space for them while they think of what to do. So he has no authority as he's there. It's only what they tell him to do that he will do. He is their puppet. And he will never do anything that will benefit the South or Middle Belt. That's why he wants to convert everybody to Almajiri. Oh yeah, come and take student loan. Student loan that he take. The person that didn't use loan to school doesn't have a job. Now you got to put Bese on your head. Come, there's no job. Then there's no fuel. I thought they say, what is that man? Dangote is building refinery. Now they're giving license to import it. What is this Kalu business? What is this Indian kind? You know, this 419. But our people are the ones allowing it. Why? Because you're allowing your criminal politicians to lead you, and church people, criminal church people, to lead you astray. As a result of all this mago, the owners of the land, because after all said or done, somebody owns the land. Lagos belongs to Yoruba people. For those that keep saying Lagos is no man land, no, you are, because you're thinking of 1999 Constitution, because of the lie they told you. Lagos belongs to Yoruba people. You have your own land. You are indigenous to somewhere. So don't allow anybody to be deceiving you. Use your brain. Use your brain. Take your tongue and count your teeth. However, that does not mean that people should be killed and their properties destroyed. No. And that's why we're saying that in this project, there's asset and guarantee scheme that we use to protect our people's properties. We're only telling them to key in into what needs to be done. You will not lose your property. Just key in into what we are doing. You'll be receiving instruction on what to do. You receive guidance on what to do so that you don't fall casualty in what is ahead. So the owners of the land went ahead and declared what you call an interregnum. That is between two regimes. Like in those days when the king of a village dies, while we are waiting for another king to come up. So there's space where they are doing the burial of the king and this burial ceremony. And you see why the king died, nobody is in place. We are doing burial for the dead king. So right now we are doing burial for Nigeria. Nigeria has now, we are doing burial. That's what interregnum means. This we are doing burial. After burial, they will not say, hey, what were we saying? What are we doing? So Nigeria has that pata. Right now, Nigeria is doing burial. What you have is interregnum. That's what the owners of the land have declared. It was declared on 12th June 2023 and published as an editorial on Wednesday, 14th June 2023 on Guardian newspaper, page 11. So those of you look for that paper, I know it has passed. If you find it, keep it very well because it's evidence of what has happened and we are continuing. So we'll tell you that it's step by step. When we finish one, we do the next one. So this declaration now has delegitimized the imposed APC government because everything is about official. It's not about shouting, they are killing us, or give us referendum. No, you do things in a legal way, official way. So that's what it's done. Like my sister said, that newspaper was chosen because that is the paper diplomats all over the world that are serving in Nigeria read. And they will now use the information and they inform their government. This is how they do things. They will now form their government, their home countries. Okay, this is what has happened. The owners of land have they inform their home government so that those that are trying to do business with the dead Nigeria, we know that they are at their own risk. Anything they say, or you're for you, or you're for you, you're on your own. Anything you see, let Tinubu be inviting you to come and do investment in a dead zone, or you're for you because the owners of the land have declared interregnum. So anything you're doing with Nigeria or the imposed APC government is at your own risk. They say at your own risk. It means that Tinubu's presidency is illicit. Because people that are not used to rule of law, they think that anything they do is okay. Yes, I'll wake up and do anything I feel like doing and it will be fine. Because you're so used to corruption. While some of you are so used to corruption and dishonesty, there are still some noble men and women that want to do things the right way, and we are proceeding. It's the same way that this declaration of the legitimization of 1999 Constitution was done on the 16th December 2020. You see, we are following step by step everything. We're not shouting with anybody. We are not trying to break anybody's head. We are just doing what we're supposed to do step by step. As a result of that 16th December declaration, the indigenous peoples have the right to exercise their self-determination. They are not begging anybody. It is just do what you're supposed to do. Especially now that the Governor El-Rufai, body bag man, has confirmed on tape the Fulani conquest agenda that NAS have been telling us about ever since. He has confirmed it on tape. They were mandated by Ahmadu Bello. For those that keep saying that 1966 coup, we told you that that coup was because the military intelligence, it was by military. They got military intelligence that the politician, Ahmadu Bello, was trying to impose this thing on the people. It would have come earlier than 1999. The so-called Fulani conquest agenda. That coup, the aim of that coup was to delay or to stop this Fulani agenda. But because people were not ripe with information, military intelligence then got the military information. The public did not have the information. That's why you see this time around, we are spending our time to educate our people. Because in the bias, you go see, if you are moving with an ignorant populace, if you do something for them, it will be as if you're working against them. So that's why we're spending time and money on enlightenment, educating our people so that we don't have ignorant population. At least let some population follow what is going on and they'll be able to defend what is going on. They will understand it. They won't think that they're working against them. Of course, Ahmadu Bello will remind you that he's the great-grandson of Usman Dan Fodio, who is the vision bearer for Fulani Nation. These things are in the open for you to know. There are only two options: peaceful union reconfiguration or union dissolution. That's where it is now. Transition now is what you say. Then the indigenous people will say, let's quickly rush. What is the tax for the indigenous people? It's so simple. It's so easy. We told you that you can do it from anywhere you are if you just pay attention. Because you're going to follow Nina's template for self-determination. So you don't just be doing things anyhow. Anything that comes to your mind, you do. No, that's not it. It has to be coordinated. That's why Nina's is the one coordinating us, guiding us, so that everybody's action will be in the direction, not that when you are trying to shoot, get gunpowder, somebody is pouring water inside it, or you're trying to farm yam. You're trying to farm yam as you're bringing the thing together to put yam inside. Somebody's behind you scattering the mold that you are gathering together. We don't want that. Our action must be coordinated in whatever group you are. So far you want self-determination. Listen to what we are saying. Your action has to be coordinated. Our local community decision makers need to understand that we are already at war. This is not a peacetime. We are at war for survival. They are coming to exterminate us. That's what they're coming to do. You need to understand the history of people's suppression. You need to understand what has happened to other people so that you can fit in. It's time for us to raise more truthful, honest, and trustworthy community leaders. We're not talking about the people that you have to use your fake PVC to vote. No, those are not our community leaders. We are talking to the grassroots, the people, your umuna, umuada. You need to talk to amongst yourself. You don't need PVC. The people that will need to help you in understanding this thing we are saying. You need to get yourselves organized. Get yourself connected back to your grassroots, to your communities. Don't run away from your communities. Gather together, except if it's actually dangerous, for women and children. We know what we're saying. That's why we have to qualify this, because we're in the middle of war, like we said. The crisis is already on. So if your place is not really very safe, please move to where it's a little bit safer until this assignment is over. But we want the indigenous peoples to start planning on how to go back to their communities. Take back your spirituality. If anybody tells you that your ancestors are evil, your ancestors are this, do not listen to them. Do not listen to them. Their own ancestors are the ones that are evil, the ones that despise other people and destroy other people. Do not listen to them. Stop anything that divides or distracts the people. Our time is going. I'll try to rush off. The government, we must take back the government to the grassroots. That's why we're saying that this government that will be in the center dictating, you are in Abuja, you don't know what is happening to the people in your village. That is not what we want. That's not the right thing for our people. We want the government that will be taken back to the grassroots, the people by themselves. Democracy is government of the people, for the people, by the people. By the people, the government will go back. So we need to break that thing you're doing at the central and take it back to the people. Help to give power and sovereignty back to the people, That's the aim. That's what we're going. Begin to run community and enlightenment campaign in your churches, in your villages, when you gather in your market, motor parks, anywhere. Start discussing NINAs. Start discussing what is going on to enlighten others, to tell them what is going on. Create awareness, mobilize the people towards the multi-regional referendum, because it's coming. The NINA's process is taking it. We're getting there. Help the people to have good knowledge of the systems and the principles of divide and rule, divide and conquer, understand what the enemy is doing. Make them to look at bigger picture, to understand, not just thinking that it's only in the Igbo that is happening to. It's happening to all the indigenous peoples in Africa, in everywhere. So understand what is going on, understand the bigger problem so that you understand the solution. Actively work against the propaganda and the lies of the globalists, the colonialists, and the jihadists. They work hand in hand. Yes, in the Rome, coming to bring Roman Catholic to you. You are not a Roman. You are only Igbo. You can go and find your God in the way you should go. Stop being Roman Catholic. You are only Rome. Stop being England. No. If you want to serve God, your God is in your village. Your God did not come from Rome. I'm telling you. Actively work against their propaganda and their lies and all the nonsense they did against our people. Take control of your life and your future. Be intentional. This is not by accident. Be intentional. Wake up. Teach your children Igbo language. Teach your children your native language. Name your children with their native names. Stop calling them what other names? Mandarin, Lindalino, and all those numbers, stupid names that do not make sense. Give them names that your ancestors and that your God said, these names will link me to you people. We have covenant with our Creator, our Maker. Give them names that will propel their destiny, not stupid names. Prepare to take over your land. Prepare to take over your community. Prepare to take back your society. Raise volunteers in your neighborhood. Go back to your communities and begin to take charge. The future of the indigenous people is offline. It's not on social media. Ndi Biafra. Your future is not on social media. Get out of the social media. Go back to your village and go and begin to do town hall meetings. Go and talk to your villagers, your people. Go there on the ground. Begin to go there physically. Don't, metaverse is not for you. It's the globalists. They are geos for all these things. The more you are clicking and liking, is for them. Money is going to them. I'm not saying you should not. Okay, I'll qualify what I'm saying. I'm not saying you should not know what is going on social media, but that's not your energy. That shouldn't be where your life is. As a woman,
that should be afterthoughts.
cooking for children, it's not on Facebook that children will eat food. You have to go to the kitchen and cook food for the children. But you spend all your time on social media. Now, boyke, is that how you train your children? Go back to the physical and begin to cook for your husband, cook for your children, take care of your family. Get off, drop the offline. Everything you do video. You and your husband, you're quarreling, you do video, put on online. Aranabunu. Get offline, indigenous people. Go and do something meaningful with your lives. I'll stop.
Thank you, my dear. In the interest of time, we'll go ahead and read the 5-point agenda summary, which is an acknowledgement of the grave constitutional grievances raised in the union dispute. By the way, that second video that we played is on Nina's voice.org. It's also on YouTube, Nina's YouTube channel. Please, please, please go there and learn more. And here our brother is playing, that thing that you're looking at and it's not making sense to you. We are putting it together and we are not mixing words. Please get with the program. We need to understand what we need to do so we can move. The second one is an express commitment to the commission the imposed 1999 military constitution. And the third is an express commitment to shape further national election under this constitution, because we know that it's not going to lead us anywhere. And fourth is an invitation to constituent peoples of Nigeria to work at the modalities for transition arrangements, including mandate, timeframe, membership, and ancillary matters. And last but not least is the announcement of a two-bound, two-stage transitioning process, which shall, in the first stage, feature multi-regional referendums by which constituent components shall recommit or opt out of the union. And in the second, these two terms of union as may be detected by the outcome of the referendums. So if you know Tony, you know Ninas. If you don't know these things, don't speak. All right. So announcements as usual is, with the second anniversary of Constitutional First March. Actually, the third one is around the corner. Our sister is on Smart Africa Daily, teaching people on Freedom Radio, trying to enlighten our people for us to understand what is going on. And this is one thing our Fulanis did for years. Even when they keep calling them the Fulanis, they were marauding our land. They always have radio, Hanege, in their language. They listen to it from Monday till night, So go to that Freedom Radio and understand what exactly we need to do for freedom. Don't wait for anyone to do it for you, because that's the thing with our people. They are thinking somebody is going to do it so they can show up and bring their retirement and start doing business. My guy, we have passed that stage. This is not even happening. That thing, he's waiting for you to come and fix it. So get with the program. Twitter Tuesdays, help us to tweet. If not for anything, there's little things every one of us can do as stakeholders. You're listening to the radio, you're enlightening yourself, you're enlightening others, you're sharing information, you're doing Twitter that Ninas is right. This we stand with Ninas. This is the way for this thing to start trending. So that people that are not hearing, maybe they're in jail, they're in dungeon, I don't know, they may begin to get this information. So to learn more, go to ninasvoice.org. We also have the datasofttrue.org. And of course, we do insist on transition now and not the selection that we see ongoing. So we're moving on to the spotlight on our ancestors' wisdom. We love this section. So help us to share. I have learned so much more because, they left our mothers and our fathers, they left them hungry after the war. So they were forced to be in the market most of the time and didn't have time to teach us some of the things that we should know. And then to make it worse, we moved to diaspora and we started speaking English to our children. It broke my heart today as I was thinking how my grandmother used to affirm me every morning in our language when she sees me, and I will go from here to here. And here we are, the kids cannot even communicate fluently with their grandmothers because things change, right? So imagine if you have a child that is misbehaving and you get the grandmother to talk. What is she going to say? One has English, grandmother has Igbo. How are they going to communicate? So we need to right all the wrongs. We need to get with the program. Our ancestors are waiting for us. So today's spotlight on our ancestors is about death. You already know what our objectives are. This is to show that we are happy about who we are. We are not hiding it. I am proudly Igbo. Nobody should stop that. I want my brothers that are Yorubas to be proudly Yorubas, proudly Fulanese, proudly whatever you are. Just don't come and destroy my space. I'm not going to allow that. So celebrating the ingenuity of our ancestors, our let Sister AP take on.
I blocked myself. Yes, please, I'll run through. Yes, death. What does death mean to our people? Igbo, in Igbo tradition, like we tell you, we are talking about Igbo because we are Igbo. You go and find out in your own place what it means. In our own, for our ancestors, death was never final. It was just a transition from one space to the another space. Death for our ancestors meant a spiritual journey. It's mainly for old people. Having said that, and those old people, most of the time, they have an idea of time that are departing. They begin to prepare and put this in place. Some will start calling their children and showing them their lands and all the things, their properties and everything. They have an idea. Just like in 2 Timothy 4:6-8, Paul knew when he was about to go. He said, I've finished the job. I'm about to go. This is what is going to happen. He was talking to Timothy, do like this, do like this. That is our culture. That is our tradition. Our parents, our grandparents do not leave us without warning. They do not leave us without telling us this is what is going about to happen. If this happen, do like this, do like this. I told you people that my mother-in-law's father, the date when he left, he gave them the time, the dates, Sunday, the time, dressed himself, was on the bed, told my father-in-law what to do, what had the message, settled everybody. This is how we do it. We are our people in that's our space. That's how it is. It's a transition from one space to the other. Having said that, it means that death of a young person is abnormal in Igbo culture. It's, in fact, it's abomination. If it happens, it has to be investigated. This one, our people are dying. That's not what was our practice. That's who we were. So if it happens, if a young person dies, they will set up inquiry. They want to find out what happened. Because to them, this journey was cut short. This existence was cut short, and they want to know, because in their mind, this person must be coming back. Having said that, that means our people believe in reincarnation. Yes, indeed, we believe in reincarnation. Our Igbo ancestors believe strongly in reincarnation, and they have tales to justify it. If you go to Matthew 3:4, Luke 1:14-17, when God was talking about the spirit of Elijah and John the Baptist, you begin to have an understanding what we are talking. And we're telling our people, I'm rushing too much. I hope I'm making sense. So the Westerners that brought Bible, translated Bible and brought to our people, and the Christians, anything they don't understand, they demonize it and call it witchcraft. They have limited information on reincarnation. They do. As a result, they try to discredit it. Sadly, it has affected us because some of our practices, things that we did that were godly, that protected us, they destroyed them because they demonized them. They didn't understand them. Rather just say, I don't know, I don't understand. They will go to Bible that they did not understand. Yes, most of your pastors do not understand Bible. They carry it and read it. Your priests, they don't understand Bible. They don't understand the spirit in which Bible was written. To understand, because you need to understand who is speaking before you know what he's saying. Imagine we, our ancestors, who were walking with God, the ancient of days, the God of the universe, the maker of heaven and earth. We were walking with him before Christianity came. So if you're reading the book that he wrote, or that our people wrote under his inspired people to write, if you have not walked with him, certain things will not make sense to you. Imagine people that were godless coming to teach you about the God that you knew all the days ago. So that's why Bible, they misinterpreted, misjudged, bastardized everything inside scriptures. Things that they don't understand, they turn it upside down and just say anything that they feel like saying. As a result, the word of God that should have brought life and liberation brought bondage and enslavement for our people. That's why we're taking back our spirituality. So when we say we want to take back our spirituality, those of you that keep that, oh, it's witchcraft, idolatry. No. The spirituality of Ndi. Yes. So they destroyed our beneficial culture and tradition, replaced it with things that they do not understand, and made our people very vulnerable. Now our people are grouping in darkness. They don't even know where to go. Just like somebody that lost compass. You don't know where you're going, because if your spiritual eye is blind, if you lose your spiritual connection, I'm telling you, in this world, you go left and right, you won't even know where you're going. And now it's worse when we have prophets that are inside church. False prophets have taken over the church. Our people have nothing to back up with. No backup plan. Because false prophets have taken over the church, because they want to steal money and take all those things. So societal norm and rule of law is what used to help to protect the people when spirituality or religion is corrupted. But because we lost that, so everyone is confused. Then we're taking our people back. That's why we're taking you step by step back to where and who we used to be. Our identity, who we used to be. In those days, we bury the dead, immediately they die. We don't take them to mortuary or whatever. Highest few days, because we had our own way of embalmment. We had our traditional way of embalmment, just like they did in the Bible. So then, like the Jews, we mourn 7 days. Go to Genesis 50:10. We mourn 7 days. That's how it used to be. But for convenience now, some villages reduced it. Like my village now, we have reduced it to 1 day, because we have to move on. We move with the time. Culture is meant for the people, not the people for culture. So you move and move with what works. Our dead relatives and friends come to us through dreams. Yes, they give us messages. Sometimes to warn us of danger. Yes. You'll be sleeping, they will come, and it's not witchcraft. It's not witchcraft. You just don't know. You don't know what you don't know. Don't go and start discrediting it. You don't know. They warn us. That's why these things don't happen anymore. People don't take this thing seriously. They warn you. You won't receive. You don't know that one. The church will tell you, no. It doesn't mean anything. Don't see your dead. If you see your dead, come for deliverance. No. We are connected to them. If you go to Bible, it said that we have a cloud of witnesses watching us. Who are those? Those are our ancestors. They died in God, so they are watching us. They didn't cut off from us. It's transition. Stop leaving us vulnerable. Our dead sometimes come with words of encouragement, because sometimes when they go, we are broken. They come and encourage us through dreams. Sometimes they will send another person message.
My mom did when she died. She
exactly.
Encouraged me, yes.
My grandmother did that. My younger sister that I lost did the same thing. And this information, there's no way that person would have known it if the person did not tell the person. So we know what we're talking about. Don't confuse us if you don't understand. They give vital information about maybe crucial documents that you don't even know, where maybe they forgot to tell you before they died. And they will come to your dream and tell you where it's located. You will go there, you will find it. We're talking about spirituality here. Some people have had near-death experiences where their family members will tell them to go back. For a woman, you might say, who are you leaving the children for? Or I go back. I have my brother-in-law that he was his father. He told him, say, go back. Who are you leaving your younger ones for? Go back. These things are real. We're telling our people, this is not an excuse for you to go into witchcraft or some demonic stuff. No. God is real. Spirituality is real. Connect with the right spirit and your life will be more meaningful. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sister, for that wonderful update on our shining a spotlight on our ancestors. So in the interest of time, we got to go. Thank you so much for hanging out with us past the hour. We're trying to end everything by 1, so we went over a little bit by 10 minutes, but it's all good. So we shall see you guys next week. Please, we are going to cut these videos, and if you see it, please help us to share. We are happy that you're here. We keep reminding you that you are a stakeholder. This is not our thing, because people will say, Ndininas. You are Ndinina. This is a movement. We'll be able to explain what a movement is versus an organization one of our shows. So this is a movement. We are going to continue until we achieve the desired result. we go nowhere. So this is the only way out. For the first time, Africans will see consistency. No happy and way. You're not going to jump off the bus, bugger here, bugger here. No, we are patient. The same way the Fulanis are patient, doing what they are doing, having their 50-year map or their 50-year timeline. We have our own, and we are going to stay on the course until we get the desired result. So until next week, stay safe. We love you guys. Please help us to share this video. And we thank everyone today that joined us. Goodbye.